Hello and welcome to Biology Career Insights, the podcast where we talk with experts from the field of biology to gain valuable insights into the careers and explore ways to navigate the job market in this ever-evolving field. I'm your host, Dr. Manish Kumar. Today, we have the pleasure of speaking with Mrs. Divya Chandradhara. Mrs. Divya Chandradhara is the CEO and founder of Bioagile Therapeutics Private Limited. Divya started the company with minimal seed funding, but has since grown exponentially with numerous successful projects under its belt. Mrs. Divya is one of the co-founders of the startup group based in Bangalore, which has about 250 members team. This is a platform for startups to help each other to grow. Divya is also a speaker and panelist in news channels like Public TV, TV9, Suvarna News, Digvijaya News, BTV, News 18 Canada. Divya is also a board panel member of Ramaiah College of Arts, Science and Commerce for quality improvement. Divya's educational background includes a master in biochemistry from Bangalore University and a master's of business administration from Mysore University. Divya, thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a pleasure sharing my information, knowledge. It would be helpful for one person. I'd be very happy.
Amazing, amazing. So to start with, Divya, perhaps, it would be great if you can tell us more about Bioagile Therapeutics in the beginning.
Yes, we are basically a clinical research company. We do conduct clinical trials. Clinical trials is nothing but any drug or a medicine, before going to market, it has to be tested on humans. There are different phases of testing, like the phase 1 where they check the safety of the drug, phase 2, phase 3 where they check the safety and efficacy of the drug. This is what we do. It may be nutraceutical product, or it is a medical device, or an Ayurvedic product, or a pharmaceutical product. Before it gets launched to the market, it has to be tested on animals, next on humans. We take care of the human testing part, and also we are doing pharmacovigilance. Once any drug is in the market, if there is any adverse event or any serious adverse event effects and all, this pharmacovigilance gives the detailed analysis reports to the pharmaceutical company. That is also one more wing which we are taking care of currently.
Amazing. Divya, your personal journey has been so inspiring and exciting at the same time. Many graduates I see, they kind of do their bachelor's in biotech and master's in biotech, and thereafter, they kind of look for jobs or go for PhD. Whereas you had all the courage it takes to start your own company. So for our listeners, I think it would be great if you can tell us about your personal journey right from the beginning, like, from your schooling to your bachelor's to master's and founding the company, that would be great.
Okay. Let me just tell you, science always inspired me. I always loved biology as a subject. And for me, maths and physics, it was not like my cup of tea. I used to not enjoy learning, or I used to not get good marks as well in this. Science always would be an amazing thing for me. But in the science, I was not a lab person. Like I want to get into lab and sit in the lab for hours together, do some research, because that I didn't enjoy doing that. But I wanted to study science. That's how I pursued BSc and biotech. At that time, everybody during when I pursued BSc and biotech, everybody were like engineers. Was the era where engineers are treated like gods. They used to go on site, travel abroad. They used to get beautiful perks, all these things. And if somebody is not choosing engineering and they're choosing a degree or a science, they are looked at low. Arts and science students are considered like, okay, low profile. It's not good enough. People who got less marks in PUC, they choose to go to science or arts. Is kind of bifurcation. That was the time. And I continued looking at great icons like Kiran Majumdar Shah, doing a lot of good things in the biotech industry. She was doing amazingly well. I was a little bit inspired by what I say. It's like Dronacharya and Ekalavya. She was always read, understand, and keep saying about news, about what is happening. And I used to always be amazed by the journey which she had taken. At the same time, science was in my genes and blood, and I always wanted to do something in science. At the same time, I didn't want to work under somebody else, or I know it's a big journey if you have to achieve something work under somebody, take a small increment, promotion and all. By the time we succeed, will be very early old. I was always, my mind was wanting to do something. The same time, I joined a startup company where I helped the company to establish this thing. Then I realized I have a great potential. If I can help a startup company to establish, get business, why can't I do myself? Later, to that, I joined Advinas Therapeutics, as a Tata group of companies where I was handling the international market for US and Europe. I got a chance at a very early stage, like at 23, 24, I got a chance of traveling to US, Europe, and talking to clients, making business connections.
So
So that,
was this
yeah.
just a small interruption? Yeah. So was this just after your masters that you got a chance to work at Advinas, or was it after your MBA?
No, MBA I did when I was working in another company. After my master's, I was working with another startup, small startup company. That is where I was there for a year. Then I moved to Advinas Therapeutic, which is now taken over by Eurofins.
Mhm.
So that is where during this journey, I learned how a company runs, how to get a business, how to execute it. It took for me 2 to 3 years to learn the entire process, because it's very difficult without knowing the company corporate culture to start something. I could get some sense of how to do something, of how a company works. That's it, not a high level technical things, how a typical company works. With that knowledge, and my interest was in clinical research. When I was studying my MSc, fortunately, my college was being very supportive. They had organized one talk on clinical research. One person, Mr. Dhanraj Bhosle, had come to talk about the clinical research. That was very fascinating. They were offering some clinical research training courses, but I could not. They charged some 50,000 or one. Like I could not afford that money to join a course. Then when I was just, I connected to the person who came. I took the number from our college people. The person who please gave me. Then I connected to him and I asked him, I want to do a clinical research course, but I don't have money. Then he was like, no, there are certain charges involved, but I can help you. You go to some small startup companies. I'll give you suggestion as some in my network, few startup companies where you can do a part-time job. That's how he connected me to some one more company called Magna Health Solution, where I was coming to college till 3:30, and after 3:30, I used to go to that company and do some. They were also like a startup. We used to do the website designing for them. We used to do the market research, data collections, and prepare a brochure. All this small work we used to get from them. And they also give us an opportunity to travel to Bhubaneswar. There was a conference happening. We had to cover the entire conference, right from medical, I mean, or writing of notes of what all the doctors, and preparing a brochure, and also covering even the photography. She gave me, you have to take the photos of who are all the panelists sitting on the this. That job they had given me, and taken. This is how I got close connections to startup companies, and I understood how startups work and all those things. After that, I had enough experience during my MSc time only. And I also, once this project got over, I also started some event management, some Cadbury's Dairy Milk. Cadbury's Dairy Milk, there was some celebration and new forms coming in. I used to appoint people in different malls and monitor them. They had to do the promotion. It was like during the Dasara time, Diwali, and New Year time, they bring in new versions of that, and we used to appoint promotional girls to entire Bangalore and pay them every day for them to do the promotions. And I also used to go to some malls and stand with all the dairy milk for companies who wants to buy. They used to buy in lots. For example, companies who they give their employees during their Ayuda Puja and all those Dasara time sweets and chocolate box. Then I used to think, now I'm selling this kind of boxes. One day I will be buying for my employees. Is the dream I had during my college days. These are all step by step things which will give me enough and good exposure, and also a confidence. I got a confidence when I was standing. I still remember I was standing in a big bazaar selling all this Cadbury's Dairy Milk after my college. Just one lady came in and asked me, "Oh, you look like highly educated. Why are you doing this job?" No, I don't. I want to earn my own fees. That's why I'm doing this job. Then she told, I was feeling shy at that time. I like, if some of the relatives see me doing all this stuff. But she told, I will bring my daughter and show her you. She will learn a lesson. Then I told, I'm doing something. It's not being shame. I'm doing something good. Like this, I started becoming more and more independent. more and more independent I became, it's giving a lot of confidence to go and ask for any project, go and start something, explore new things. This is how it started. And finally, when I was in Advenus, I got a confidence. I can start. And I got a few clients also who were ready to give me projects. So when I was working there itself, I registered a company. Once I got confirmed, yes, I have projects in that, I quit the job and I started my full-fledged office. Initially, I started working on home because I could not afford for an office space for about 3 to 6 months. Then we bought it to a shared space. Then we have another independent space. It's a step-by-step process of what we have grown, and now we are coming up with different things. I also was a part of one of the manufacturing unit called So Naturals. It's a nutraceutical company. It was a small part of journey. I helped them build a pilot plant and all those things. Now I have started with new wings like the pharmacovigilance and other things as an entrepreneur journey.
Wow, wow, wow. Divya, this is so inspiring. And what I can see is that, the entrepreneurial bug was right from the beginning. So you were always like a
Definitely.
very independent girl. You're trying out different things. Apart from reading your, normal books of science, you did that, all like from Cadbury's to standing in Big Bazaar and all that, is so inspiring. So when you joined Advenus, I think you already had that entrepreneurial aim in mind.
Correct.
I will work there, learn something, and then I'll start my entrepreneurial journey. So it was not accidental, but it was quite pre-planned.
It's planned. It's planned. It was like I always suggest people. There's a book called The Secret. If you have read or not, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think I have not read, but that is a great recommendation because I will put the link also of that book perhaps to
Yes.
our
Yes.
audience. What
When
are
I was
the
studying
secrets?
The
What is
Secret, The Secret.
uh-huh. It's by
It's it's written by, I don't remember the author name, but when I was studying in MSc, somebody gave me that book and I read that book and it was really inspiring. Like it actually says what you think. Subconsciously, your mind starts working on it. If you're continuously thinking of something, I need to do this, I need to do that. Your subconsciously, even when you're sleeping, your mind will be working for that. And the universe supports you. The kind of people you meet will be that kind. For example, you are thinking of buying a Audi car. You see somebody is selling a Audi car. You get in connect with somebody selling a Audi car. This is a kind of way the universe and the internal connection works. I strongly believed in that. When I started work, I was thinking, see, we don't come from a great background. We come from a humble background. Without nothing, how to create everything? No, you don't have nothing. Only you have is a dream. With one dream, how you can create everything? It's the networking, connections. Without spending money, this is the only thing you can do.
absolutely.
Connect to people.
This is such an inspiring thing, because I totally understand you that, you were mentioning about what like the power of belief and power of thoughts is able to create. Like when you think very strongly with a purpose in mind, I think the universe tries to help you. Uh,
Obviously.
this is so amazing because, most of the young gen biotechies, when I talk to them, they always say, oh no, you need to have a huge, like a family background or a huge investment in the beginning and stuff like that. And I think your journey is quite inspiring, that you kind of, you said something very Indian, like Dronachar for Kiran Mazumdar Shah. And I remember when I was pursuing my biotech, she used to be the poster,
Yes.
the poster woman for entrepreneurship. And many people just want to become, but they never work in that direction. And I think you are a perfect example of somebody who kind of really worked step by step and then are currently work as a CEO. So that's so amazing. Uh, Divya, I'm sure like you would have faced a lot of challenges and stuff like that while building this startup. So if you remember some interesting stories about founding the companies in terms of challenges and how did you overcome them, please go ahead. That would be also
Yes,
interesting.
this is like interesting. There are more challenges than the, what do you say, good things. There are challenges. If you upcome those challenges, definitely there are good things. I still remember when we had our first project, we didn't have an office space. So then immediately there was a client who told they want to visit us. And just tomorrow we are visiting. I still remember I just ran to some place where they make boards. I prepared the board and I just ran to some office near my house and told, can you I'll just put my board for one day, please. allow me. I had to just put the
Amazing.
report for one day, and they came to the office and they saw me, and they didn't get any doubt at all. And I used their receptionist, I used their employee, showed okay, they're all my employees. And it was like, I know it is not the correct way to do it.
No, but this
That
is amazing. I mean, this is a great example of what we in India are. Like, when they're
yeah.
amazing. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. This is
So that's how these kind of experience. Then I took a shared office, and then I should definitely share this story. When I had a shared office, this was shared by one of the minister's daughter. The father was a health minister in Central. I don't want to mention the name. She told, "Okay, fine, we have enough space. They had enough money and space. They had only 3 4 people. The space was quite huge. I just occupied one small corner, and I was paying some part of rental to them.
Mhm.
It was 6 months happened, and I got very good traction. Good businesses followed. Clients started coming in. Everything was. Then it was been almost an year. It was things was going well, and they suddenly, all of a sudden, they told their business was not going well, and they called a Vastu Shastra person, some astrologer, and so all the people they took the consultancy. Then they told, so she is sitting in the Kubera Mula, so that's why all the good things is going to her, and you're not getting the good things. Then immediately she came and told, in one day you have to vacate this place. I was like, we are running a successful business. One day, how can I vacate the business? I told her, okay, just give me 2 days. Then I took a two-wheeler. I ran over all the place around with my husband. Searched every place. And then I saw one place there was vacant. In the current place where I'm sitting, this entire floor was vacant. Immediately, I shifted over here. Then after a few months, I just checked up on, after I left, they occupied that Kubera Mule or the auspicious place, but the business didn't come to them. Then I realized it's not the place, it's the right mentality. So, like this, we had different experiences in our life. Now things are going well, and we are scaling up. Now we are in the scaling up stage. Definitely, we want to get into, and we are also next time I'm traveling to Europe. We want to establish companies in Europe and US as well and grow very big and make our people who are believing in the company and the company principles also grow along with us.
amazing, Divya. And Divya, you mentioned that, I mean, India is a place where you have a lot of superstitions and stuff like that.
Yes, yes.
India is also a place where, like, you have a lot of patriarchy, as in, like, women face additional challenges like when you compare them to, like men, or because it's quite patriarchy in India.
Definitely, definitely.
So as a woman entrepreneur, like, what are the additional challenges? I heard that you said your husband was quite supportive and stuff like that.
Yes.
But what were the additional challenges that you had to face just because you were a woman? Or
See, additional challenges like, see, a men, every day they can sit in a bar, they can talk, connect to people, talk business with them, and close a deal in bars. But that would be quite challenging for a woman. There will be other challenges as well. See, for a woman, there will be other family related aspects. Fortunately, I was lucky enough, though I did not get a financial support from the family, they gave me emotional support, which is more important than a financial support, which was really helpful for me. So that way, I had the independence to do whatever I want. But definitely, I say, people say if it is a woman, it's easy to crack the business. But I go against it. If it's a woman, it's really difficult, because first of all, they doubt on your capability. You have to prove yourself. If it is a man, they won't doubt on their capability. If it is a woman, they doubt on your capability. Will she able to deliver? Will she
there's
able to
a
deliver?
cliche mentality that women will under deliver, but it's not the case, of course. Uh,
Yes, yes.
so you had
It
to
is
face.
one of the factor. Like when you're young and when you go as project, see people in the life science domain, they expect like the entrepreneurs should be gray hairs and all, older women or older men with balded head or something like that, sitting in the discussion or something like that. They get a lot of confidence. Oh, they are experienced enough, they can manage. When you're quite young, then that is also part of doubt. When it's a woman, is part of doubt. There's a lot of things as a woman. It's definitely a challenging thing. There are advantages as well. But I see there's more drawbacks also as a woman, as a CEO. You see the statistics in India. How many of entrepreneurs? Only 10 to 15% are women. It's all men dominated. They have the enough time. Men have enough time. I feel they go see after 6. They do the marketing after 6. Can we do marketing after 6 and 7 and 8? It's quite I don't say it is difficult or it's not.
Quite challenging for sure. Like as a woman in India, it's quite challenging. And Divya, I was having this podcast also with other successful women in biotech, and I realized that women's say child rearing, years,
Yeah,
the peak
yeah,
of careers coincide. So it is
definitely.
also additional burden, not only the societal challenges that you mentioned, but also like from the biology point of view, like, it's so challenging. So what would be your advice to women who kind of have a big career break because of pregnancy and stuff like that? What would be your advice?
See, my advice is that the biggest challenge, as I told, their biological clock and career clock always combines. And many women I just see, they just take 3 years, 4 years, 5 years gap. I just had somebody 2 days back coming to her office. She had done a PhD and she had 15-year gap. I asked why. She told I was taking care of my son. I was taking care of my father, and I had other things and all those things. She has done a PhD. I told and my brother is in abroad, and that's why I had the family arrangement. I told why the men will come for the property and all the stuff, and when it comes to responsibility, they put it on you. You should have been selfish. When it comes to career, definitely women should be selfish,
Mhm.
because women have to stand for themselves, and they have to pay their own checks and they have to pay their own bills. I'm not talking as an entrepreneur point of view also. Many women, they compromise on their career. My suggestion is, definitely this is also very important. Having kids and all, it's very important. I don't deny that factor, but they should plan themselves accordingly, so that like, I saw one of my previous employee in my old company. She served the company till the day before her delivery also. She came till the complete 9 months. It is all mental these things. After that, she took a break of 3 to 4 months, and again she was back. Like, this, treat it as normal. Don't treat it as extremely some abnormal thing. Or I understand there should be a family support. Please share the responsibility with your husband also. They
And
need
that's
not
the,
go.
that's the crux of it. I mean, you should communicate well in advance with your husband. This is what the other person was mentioning, that, a child is not just the responsibility of women, but it's the
Correct.
responsibility of both the partners, and you should communicate well in advance. And
Yes, if
Divya,
you
what you said, and Divya, what you mentioned about selfishness, I don't think it's selfish at all. It's just being independent and, using your education. But, many women have that notion that I am being selfish and they
Mhm.
don't want to be selfish. But I don't think that this is being selfish. This is just being independent and valuing yourself as an individual.
Agreed. But most of the women have that guilty conscious. I'm doing something wrong. They should come out of it. Be also, do whatever you want until unless it's right. Until
Absolutely.
unless and your conscious allows you do whatever you want, which will help you. See, at the initially, people may look at you as a different way. For me also, see, if I had failed, what if I had failed in as an entrepreneur journey? That would have been a biggest step. I would have lost so many years putting my effort and all, but I gained the experience. That's what I would have gained the experience. That's what I would have to take home. If the man fails, they can always try and try it. But the woman fails, the age. What I'm talking about, age, she cannot compromise with it, or the childbearing thing. That age, if that age passes on, she'll have to repent. So plan yourself very well. I think if you can plan yourself very well, that should not at all be a barrier. If you have a good family support, if you have a good willpower, because I have seen examples, as I already told, one of the words, I say these are all great women who had that. You are not a patient when you're pregnant or when you're carrying, you're not a patient. You should come out of that. You should come
Absolutely.
out of the mind frame of the resting mind frame. Come out of the resting mind frame. Work till you can. I don't tell work till you're 9 months. Work till you can. Then treat it as a normal thing. Just treat it as a normal thing, and just try to come out of that. If you're strong mentally, Your physical thing will support you.
Amazing.
Your body will support you if your mind is strong, is what I feel. If your mind is weak, your body won't support you.
That's a
This
great.
is all psychology. It's all psychology.
And Divya, I mean, I consider you as somebody who's an expert in leadership and management. So, what would be your advice to aspiring entrepreneurs, looking to make a, say, difference in the respective biotech field? What would be your advice to these aspiring bio entrepreneurs?
Definitely, there's a lot of opportunities in biotech industry. You go to BIRAC, you have funding of 50 lakhs. If your idea is innovative, don't spend 1 rupee also from your end. The government will evaluate your idea, and if it is really good, they will give you 50 lakh rupees. It's a non-refundable money. It's not a you have to pay. You're taking a loan. And there's something called Startup India. In Startup India, there is called a seed money, grant money. Grant money is refundable. Seed money is non-refundable. 20 lakh rupees of amount. You can take that. And there are a lot of VCs, angel investors who are ready to invest if your idea is good. Approach them. It's all you have to make your mind open and work towards your goal. It was not like some people say it was easier to do companies before because there was less competition. Of course it is right, it was easier, there's not much competition. Not everybody would aspire to become an entrepreneur and all. It was not everybody's cup of tea, but now things are open. There is Google where you can reach anybody you want. There is LinkedIn. You can connect to anybody you want. There are VCs, there are funders, there are evaluators, there is government. More than all those things, you have your own brain. So there is a lot of things you can really do. I don't think so. Blaming on, oh, my father didn't support. Oh, my husband didn't support. Oh, I didn't have good luck. I don't believe luck supports one who has put efforts.
Absolutely. Mhm.
That's what I feel. Definitely, if somebody is determined to do something, definitely they can do it.
Amazing, amazing. And any tips and advice for, like you mentioned about all these grants? So, you know, many biotech students, especially when they are doing their bachelor's or master's, they lack that skill because they are not taught about how to approach venture capital or an angel investor or how to write grants. And perhaps, our podcast would be like, your tips would be advantageous to them, wherein like perhaps you can highlight some of the, tips or advice that you'd like to give, like how to approach your VC or how to write a pitch deck or something.
Yeah, see, definitely now I'm not an expert in writing a project proposal or something because I didn't take any grant. But there are people who have taken the grant, and there are a lot of professors. If you see a lot of institutes like IIScs, IITs, and even the mid-sized colleges, the Ramayas, Revas, all the colleges, they have an incubation center. These incubation centers, there is a grant from the central government. They give about 7 crore grant
Wow.
to incubate and patent and all those things. There's a lot of things like that. So they need to catch hold of those kind of professors who are expertise. There are certain professors who are expertise in doing that. They will assist you in writing that. You should just have the ideations. They will assist you in how to write a grant and all those things. And if you go to BIRAC site, DBT site, there is a BIRAC thing. In that BIRAC also, there is a format where you need to fill. You're not creating something.
Wow.
In that, there will be format which asks what is your primary objective, what is your secondary objective, where are you utilizing your money, is this patented, non-patented, everything is there in that. You're not creating a separate document. There's a question and answer kind of thing. You can start filling like that. So you can fill that and get it reviewed from somebody, industry expert or something. Definitely that will work in a better way.
Amazing, amazing, Divya. Uh, Divya, let's come back to Bioagile Therapeutics a bit. So, what are the key trends in the field, in your field, like in the clinical research currently, with all artificial intelligence, machine learning happening? What are the key trends, and what are the most exciting developments that you think that Bioagile Therapeutics, is trying to catch up with?
Yeah, we are also like, as you know, it's all the AI world. I'm also attending AI classes, trying to learn how it works. I always believe we are student forever till our death. We are students. So I'm just learning AI now, the Python coding. This is little bit the thing I really didn't want to learn that during my colleges. Now I'm learning because Science and technology, if it is collaborate, it's a different game. It's a different valuation game, is what I feel. So we are also trying to implement some AI things in clinical research. Well, like for example, protocol. A protocol is a standard document. Any medical writer will take 7 days or something, 1 month to draft a protocol. But if we are using AI, within few hours we can make a draft protocol. So this is how, not in few hours, few minutes. This is how AI works. So we are trying to bring in AI to our things also, and we are upgrading ourselves for the pharmacovigilance and other things. This is also all the upcoming things about Bioagile Therapeutics.
Amazing, amazing. How do you see the future of life science evolving in India? Because I see a lot of things happening currently in the in the current scenario. So perhaps you can highlight that.
Definitely, definitely. With technology also, same previously life sciences was purely science. Now technology also is evolving into life science industry. So they go hand in hand. So life science industry is going in a very big, and now valuation game has become too big now. So many people I have seen just with ideation. I have one of the example in my eyes. With just with ideation, they are pumping in crores of money. That it's just you have to connect with the right person. Being in the right place with the right person is all about success with the right ideation. So there are a lot of people, if you have great ideations, ready to fund for you.
Wow. And Divya, finally, this is the most important question. What advice would you give to the biology students who are considering, say, a career as an entrepreneur? And what are some of the most important things that they should keep in mind as they pursue this path?
Yes, I think people who have chosen biology, biotech, biochemistry, chemistry, whatever related to life sciences as their career, my suggestion is you are in the right direction. You're very lucky that you could take that job. Not everybody can digest science. You have taken that. You've done a good, what is this, decision out of it. Further into entrepreneur journey, really the life science industry is evolving, and now it is like it's not like you have previously you have to hire 100 people and you make a 10 crore business is not the game now. 3 4 people can make 40 50 crore business. That is how the game is going on now with technology, R&D, research. Lot of upcoming things is there in the genomic sequencing, be is there in clinical research, in the drug discovery domain. So lot of areas, even in the bioinformatics, lot of things are there which you can look into. First, you need to analyze where you are good in. Where do you think you can excel in? You can't put your hands in two different things. If somebody is good at agriculture, there are so many agriculture apps. Now, if they in the mobile camera, they can screen the diseases looking at the leaf in the mobile application. This is where the technology is working on. So think in that way. Don't think into, okay, I will go to the plant tissue culture lab, do tissue culturing. Come out of those things and think in an advanced way is what I feel.
Wow. Wow. And Divya, I see that you're also kind of mentoring a startup group and stuff like that in, in Bangalore. So do you also invest in startups, or do you plan to invest in startups?
So, no, definitely if the ideations is good, we would also be interested to invest.
Mhm.
Not a huge, at least to start off with. We have a group of startups of 250 startups, which I am also one of the co-founder.
Mhm.
This is a trust base to help the startups network with each other. We organize some investor meet, we organize some networking meet. For example, MSME. Not much people know how much benefits they get from MSME. If their company is registered in MSME, if they apply for patent, if they have to pay 10,000 to the government, if you're an MSME company, you have to pay 2,000. So it's just a one minute procedure in online to get registered as a MSME company. So through MSME, what all the other benefits? There are a lot of other benefits you can get as a tax point of view, as a patent point of view, as so many goodies you get as along with MSME. So we bring in MSME people and talk to our people and see how they can support them. So like this, different kind of talks from different industry. From DBT, we get somebody. From Biorac, we get somebody. We organize investors meets. This kind of support system. There's no money involved here.
Mhm.
Networking and supporting each other.
But
This is
that's a great way of supporting, all the incoming ideas. This is also very important. Divya, finally, tell us about your hobbies. What are your hobbies?
my hobbies is, I think, reading. not reading the books or some novels or something. I like to read about newer things which is happening, and I like traveling, and I like eating. Those are my hobbies, and I like networking. I like talking to people like you.
Wow, that's so amazing. And next time when you are in Europe, just let me know. I'm going
I'm
to be
there in
sure.
May, and I'm there in Europe.
Wow. So I am based in Mannheim in Germany, and you are most welcome.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll be happy to meet you.
Welcome, welcome, Divya. So, Divya, thank you so much for sharing your insight with us today.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much for inviting. It was a pleasure. I hope it would be helpful for some people.
absolutely. And for the audience, thank you for tuning to Biology Career Insights. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast to get the latest episodes delivered straight to your device. See you next time. Thank you. Bye, Divya. Have a nice day.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a nice